Hey everyone, I know a lot of you ask me to remind you yearly, but Allen Edmonds is having their Shell Cordovan Trunk Show starting today until October 3rd, so you can buy or customize a pair by visiting your favorite store or going online or calling one of your favorite stores. So you can customize some really amazing pairs in navy, green, or natural shell cordovan, along with 5 other colors, including cognac brown. And this year you'll have the chance to pick up the discontinued 5th Street Oxford boot as well, which I have a review on, which is making a temporary return and is one of my absolute favorites. If you'd like to meet me in person, I'll be at the Trunk Show event at Allen Edmonds in Costa Mesa, California on September 25th at 3 p.m. for their in-person event, where you can see some samples of the shoes as well. So I'll see you there. Hey everybody, good morning. Today's video is actually pretty special. I'm here in Port Washington, Wisconsin. I'm literally across the street from the Allen Edmonds home factory, and we're celebrating the 100-year anniversary with the Party at the Port, which is a special celebration with the Allen Edmonds enthusiasts. So 50 of us came along. I don't think anything like this has ever actually happened, and it's been so exciting. I flew in last night and met some of the guys that I've been interacting with for years, and I finally met them in person. So we're going to start the day off. So come with me, and we're going to tour the factory and celebrate with some other really great stuff, including a giveaway for those in attendance. So let's get this video started. Today's video is really going to be done in a blog style, which I know I don't really do often, but that's probably going to be the easiest way. In fact, I almost didn't come this weekend. There was only 50 spaces available, and by the time I decided, I was number 48 on the list. But now I'm really glad that I did come. So let's head out the door and go see what's going on. So, like I already mentioned, when I got to Port Washington, I went to the hotel, and I found out that the owner of the hotel actually worked for Allen Edmonds for about 15 years, and he had a sign out for everyone to welcome us. And then I had dinner, a late dinner. I got there at about 11 o'clock with all the guys at the hotel restaurant, and it was really cool to finally meet and get to know all the guys that I'd been talking to for years and never actually met in person. So I feel kind of like Henry Hill in Goodfellas introducing everyone, but here's a quick rundown on all the enthusiasts that actually went. If I don't give you a shout out, I'm sorry, you just didn't make it in the video, but there were over 50 of us that went. So it was really, really cool to finally meet everybody. Okay, so let me introduce everyone from left to right because I'm not good at editing and I can't stop the video and circle people and everything. So the first we have Bill Daniels, and then next to him we have Steve Dudaklian. He's the owner of Beatles Leatherworks, and he's the absolute best. Next to him is David Ambrico, who is a custom clothier. You should check him out on Instagram. He makes fantastic stuff from socks all the way to suits. Next to him is Randy G. He works at Allen Edmonds in Scottsdale, and I'm really glad I finally got to meet him. The guy in the red t-shirt actually gets a special shout out later, so I'm going to skip him for now. The guy in the burgundy t-shirt is Dinesh Gore, who's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a while, and we hang out outside of the group. Next to him is Levi Elliott, who is probably the best shoe shiner in the United States. He's absolutely fantastic. Check him out on Instagram under Levi Shoe Shine. Then we have Mark G., another really awesome member of the group. Ethan Pike, who is another good friend. And last but not least is Fred, who was actually getting into shoes for the very first time. So what an introduction to shoes. He actually got to visit the Allen Edmonds host factory, and he's probably ahead of everyone in that regard. So let me show you. Here's the hotel I'm staying at, and that right there is the factory. You can see the little sign. So it's not technically like literally across the street, but it is across the street. All right, everyone, I'm here. I arrived a little bit early just to shoot some video. I'm actually here with Nick, who's a member of the group, and he's going to be helping me take some video footage. He's actually a pro. He's actually a college professor, and he teaches filming and stuff like that. So I'm really honored to have him help me with the video. And as you can see, right behind me is the home factory. And I'm super excited for the tour, which starts at 10 a.m. And others haven't arrived, but I'm here with Nick. And we're going to go inside the shoe bank and take a look around. All right, this is Nick. Nick, what do you do?
Well, I'm actually a professor at Kansas State University. I teach photo, video, audio, and drone aviation. And, of course, I'm a Allen Edmonds shoe addict. So
even better.
We're here checking out the 100-year anniversary and just having a great time with all of our friends with the Allen Edmonds enthusiast group.
2-for-1 special.
Yes, 2-for-1 specials. We love it. This is great.
And this is the Shoe Bank, which is pretty legendary in the community. And they have everything you need. All right, guys are starting to trickle in. And we're doing great. Now, once everyone arrived, they had a field day and all the guys started ransacking the Shoe Bank. Now, for those who don't know, the Shoe Bank is called the Shoe Bank because it was at one point a literal bank that Allen Edmonds used to open their first retail store ever. So it's incredibly historic and people go there to find really, really good deals. The Shoe Bank deals in factory seconds primarily. And for those who know or don't know, factory seconds are shoes that have small blemishes, sometimes big blemishes, but you gotta be judicious and find a pair that you actually like. But when you go in person, you can actually search by your size and by model, and you can find some really amazing deals. I was told later that they made over $100,000 in sales that day, because some guys, most of them came in and bought at least 2 or 3 pairs. Some bought 10, 15 pairs. And it was just an amazing thing to see. And some of them made off with some really, really cool shoes. So if you're ever in Port Washington, visit the Shoe Bank. It's connected to the factory. You can actually walk, as I've already shown, or I will show in a minute. You can walk from the store into the factory. And it's just a really amazing thing to see. All right, everyone. We are actually inside the factory right now. And as you can see, everyone's here to celebrate. And it's all looking really, really awesome. So this is better than I could have expected. And yeah, I'm just really happy and excited. See, now I've toured the factory before, but this was just so much better than I anticipated. It was an actual event, a party at the port, and there were tables and there were workers there actually doing their thing. It was really, really cool to see. I was just blown away. I can't believe I almost didn't come. I really would have missed out. So aside from the party and the actual tours that were going on, Allen Edmonds had some really historic stuff out on display, and you could look at some vintage shoes like these McNeils that are just really, really stunning. And my favorite part about them was that they still had the original fisheye cleat. That's circular as opposed to an actual triangle from other companies like Florsheim. Very, very cool to see a lot of shoes on display as well. All right, so we're about to start our factory tour, and my group's together, so we're going to go look around and see what we can see. Now, I've toured the factory before. I actually have a video about it already, but this was just so much more in-depth, and everyone was just so willing and ready to share about what they were doing, and it was truly amazing. I'm glad I finally had other people there to see what I've seen before, and it made the experience that much better. So, the footage that I got was just every step of the process. I mean, they do it all there at the factory, and it was just amazing to see. Now, I'm still really bothered by certain comments you'll see on social media where people insist that Allen Edmonds secretly makes all their shoes overseas or that there's some nefarious plan. And while it's true that Allen Edmonds does have a factory in the Dominican Republic, they actually talked to us about it, that makes boat shoes and other types of shoes, they are still making the classic shoes in the United States at Port Washington, and it's always great to visit the factory and to see the entire process from bare leather, from the actual raw materials, all the way step by step to the very end. And it's just very cool to see. You get to talk with the workers who stitch and who cut and who sew. It's really a fantastic experience. So after cutting, this worker was actually working on some oxblood strands. I was really surprised to see that she was burnishing the individual leather pieces before they're sewn together by hand. That was very cool to see. I didn't know they did that. So it was a very interesting experience to see her burnish it and then to shine it with the wheel and then move that leather over to be sewn together. Okay, these were actually Park Avenues that they were working on here, and the pieces were sent off to sewing. So I'm not going to ruin it. You can listen in on what they're saying.
When she was doing the lines before, this is where that's important. You know, when you look at it,
You've been with Allen Edmonds.
33 years.
33 years.
That's why it makes it look so simple.
yeah, the Broad Street. So you remember when we were up at the Broad Street about a year or so ago, in the 3 different colors? That was like, hey, we should bring back the Broad Street.
Now, once the leather is cut according to the pattern, sewn together with the leather lining, the shoes move on to get their sole. And this was an area where they had all the leather types for the different soles. They had JR, they had the factory sole, and day-night. And that was just really, really cool to see. And here are the finished uppers. They're all placed on racks. And of course, the walnut strand was the shoe that they had the most of, aside from the Park Avenue. And this is the bare raw leather that's used to make soles. And that was very, very cool to see and to hear about, and to see that process continue from beginning to end. So before the shoes are soled, they have to be lasted, which means the leather upper is placed on a plastic form of a human foot, and then the shoe receives extra burnishing. Not all models, but this model, this Randolph loafer, was being burnished more heavily, and that was very awesome to see. And you can actually see how different they can look with the proper colored and burnishing applied, so that's the difference right there. And once all that's done, they go in to receive the hot cork, and that's the footbed to make it really, really comfortable. It molds to your foot, and that's why Goodyear welted shoes that have cork beds are so comfortable. Once that's done, it's time to put the sole on the shoe and to get it welted. So that's the process right there, and how it continues on from the beginning. So there he is placing the sole onto the upper, and this machine prepares it for the next step.
So now that we got the sole on, we got to put our groove in. 9-iron soles like this, butyl soles, cordovan. We put that groove in. Not an easy thing to do.
These are all so fresh. I just want to take them with me. After the tours were done, Alan Edmonds catered a delicious lunch for all of us, which was just really delicious. Everyone sat down and had a really, really great time. And then we had a panel with the higher-ups at Alan Edmonds, and we were able to ask a bunch of questions and get our concerns out there. I was surprised how frank some of the questions were, but everyone in the panel did such a great job at answering all our questions, all our concerns, and that was just a really, really cool thing. After the panel was done, the mayor came in and he dedicated that day as Alan Edmonds Day. So that was really cool to see. That was really unexpected and fun. I actually found an official post. It's Mayor Ted Netsky, and he proclaimed it April 23rd officially as Alan Edmonds Day, and that was just fantastic. And then the manager of the shoe bank, Alex, he's actually, to everyone, I mean, I didn't know this, but he's an opera singer, and he's just so amazing at singing. I couldn't believe it. He sang Alan Edmonds a happy birthday, and then we had some cake, and the singing was just phenomenal. So, Alex, you did a fantastic job, and thank you for sharing your talent with us. I had no idea you were such an amazing opera singer. After all that was done, they gave everyone in attendance a really beautiful poster, and everyone was autographing posters for everyone, all in attendance. But we all made sure to sign the poster that was going to stay at the Alan Edmonds factory at the shoe bank. And that was just so cool to see, to be a part of that. And they actually put it up. And just officially put it up at the factory, and it's going to be there for a very long time. When you visit the factory, you'll see how much historic stuff they have there. They have shoes they've made for presidents and for different celebrities. So just being a part of that is really humbling and really, really awesome. Here is the poster, finally framed and in my workspace. And it's just really a great memento, a great memory to have about my visit to the factory and and the party at the port. So thanks to all who signed it, who autographed it, a lot of acquaintances, close friends, and new friends. So it was really a really cool experience. So what's more is they designed a special shoe to commemorate that day, and they only made 50 of them, or they made one for everyone in attendance, and it's called the Elgin. It's a suede Strandmock strand type of shoe. So it's a I have pictures of it actually. It's really beautiful, and I'm glad we all got to commemorate the day with a pair of special edition shoes, one of 50 or 60. So that was really, really awesome as well. So before I forget, I really wanted to show everyone this catalog that's actually really special because it is for the 100th anniversary at Allen Edmonds, but there's actually someone featured in this magazine that deserves special recognition. And here we go. Our very own Russell Fields was actually featured in this Allen Edmonds catalog because he's probably the greatest and most influential Allen Edmonds enthusiast that we have, and he even autographed the entry here he has, so that was really, really cool. But yeah, Russell is just phenomenal. He has, at this point, probably close to 1,000 pairs, and he's a real staple in our community. So I'm glad that Allen Edmonds really recognized him for his accomplishments. So that's just really, really cool, and that added to the celebration that we had, and it was just really, really awesome. So aside from that, Allen Edmonds also sent everyone who attended a thank you note, which I really, really appreciated. There was only 50 slots, so it was really, really cool that they invited us out and that we actually got to go and see how it's all done again. But I just want to emphasize and really thank Allen Edmonds for being such an amazing company. I don't think I've known a company that's done something like this before. So it was amazing. It was fun. It was life-changing to go and have that celebration with them. So I really want to thank them for being so gracious and so awesome, and for treating the enthusiasts so well. What an amazing event. It was better than anyone expected, and everyone who attended really agreed upon that. So I'll never forget it. I had so much fun, and I want to thank everyone who put it on, including Allen Edmonds and the members of the Allen Edmonds enthusiasts who reached out and started the entire process. Hope you enjoyed the video.